Welcome back to Learnify. Today we're going to be learning about supply. Supply is the ability and willingness of firms in a market to produce a particular good or service at every given price in a given point in time. So we also have with supply something called the law of supply, which says that ceteris paribus, all things equal, as the price of a product increases, the quantity supplied of that product also increases, and vice versa. So as the price of a product decreases, the quantity supplied will also decrease. So there's a positive relationship between price and quantity. So we have this diagram here with a supply curve in a normal market where the y-axis is price and the x-axis is quantity. We see at a higher price there'll be greater quantity, and this abides by the law of supply. But just knowing this positive relationship is not enough. Some questions can be a bit nastier, and they can ask you why the law of supply works and why the supply curve is upward sloping like this. This can be explained in two ways. Firstly, the law of diminishing marginal returns. It explains that as more variable input is added to a set of fixed inputs, the additional output derived from each input of variable factor decreases. So as we have a set of fixed factors of production as a firm, this could be like a factory we bought or some permits we bought, right? But we can employ more workers to increase the output we produce. So labor is going to be the variable input here. Although at the start where we employ one worker, the marginal output may increase by 10. The marginal output may be 10. As we hire the 10th worker, it might only be 2. So the first worker gives us an additional output of 10 units, while the 10th worker gives us an additional output of 2 points. You can think of it this way in real life, where as you do more and more, as we have more people working, at the start we're going to need so many people more to work because we don't have any workers. So there's going to be a major increase in the output. However, with the 10th worker, maybe workers started to get in the way of each other, and as a result it's going to be counterproductive, and maybe each additional unit of labor, it won't derive the same amount of output that we previously had. Also ties in nicely to the idea of marginal. Specifically, the increasing marginal cost is the idea that because of the law of diminishing marginal returns, each additional unit of output that we produce comes at a greater cost, because we need to employ more variable input to get that equivalent additional increase in output. So earlier we could get 10 additional output for hiring one worker, but now even hiring one worker we get 2. So we may need to hire 5 more workers or even more if this law of diminishing marginal returns continues to be. So with this increasing marginal cost, producing more requires more costs for the firms to be incurred, right? So to cover these costs, firms need to charge higher prices. And so if firms can have higher prices, they can produce more. So higher price leads to higher quantity. That's how the law of supply works.